Hello again, my name is Juliet Nicholson and I'm going to go over our activity for higher level readers for the book Charlotte's Web by E.V. White. So the activity I chosen was the predictions plot plan. The predictions plot plan is as follows. So students will fill out the exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution to the story. But students will be given 5 of these, and they'll be filling each of these out as we're going through the story. So to begin, students will fill out the exposition, and then they'll write an inference for the rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the resolution. They'll write any textual evidence that they find in this box up here that helps them be able to infer what happens in these other parts of the plot. Next, they'll be given another one of these to fill out the rising action and the exposition. So the exposition and rising action are from the story, and then the climax, falling action, and resolution are filled out as an inference. Again, students will use textual evidence to fill out right here about how they've inferred what will happen later. And they'll continue this process for the climax, for the falling action, and the resolution. So they'll have 5 of these papers total. This is a 2-part process. Students will use this for during the reading, and then the second part is after the reading. Students will write a short essay on describing their inferences based off the text versus actually what happened in the text. So they'll go through each part, the rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution with the inferences that they created versus what actually happened, and they'll also use the text evidence that they put right here into their essay. So to go over the rubric for this, it has 5 parts to it. 5 criteria parts. So students are graded on the plot of the exposition, the rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the resolution. In each section, students will be graded on whether the actual part of the plot was well described. The other parts are filled out with the inference that makes sense, and evidence is used from the text for the inference and is clearly and appropriately cited. Now, students will get full marks if all of that is met. So the grading scale is 16 to 25 points, 6 to 15 points if the exposition or the part of the plot is somewhat described. All of the parts of the plan are filled out with inferences, and evidence is used for the inference. And students will score 0 to 5 points if the exposition or the part of the plot is not clearly defined. All other parts of the plot plan are filled out with inferences, and evidence from the text is used or is not used. So with this activity, we're going to go into the Bloom's taxonomy for this activity. Students are identifying the parts of the plot, and they're inferring what's happening, and then they'll be creating an essay based off of comparing and contrasting their inferences to the text. To match this activity to the standard, students will be using the text to help them infer, and they'll also be pulling their textual evidence and to use as supporting evidence and putting it up here, and then also putting it in their essay. I think this would really be beneficial to higher level readers as they get a grasp of how to infer in text, how to understand what's going on, and how to think about what might happen in the future of a text. But I do think that this is a very great activity for students. All right, thank you.